I'm saying? The motherfucker reached out. We went to his office and shit. Shit was crazy as hell. He had shit like plaques on the wall. What was it? Carl Thomas.
Kanye West plaques. All types of shit.
Motherfucking Violator. That's who he used to work for. He used to be the A&R Violator. And he was responsible for busting around a lot of other people. I was not even hip. So when we went to his office and he sat me down, I was like, damn, for this motherfucker to really reach out, I might got something here that I'm doing that's lucrative, you know what I'm saying? And big, on some big shit.
And then working with John Monopoly, that actually puts you into the area to meet some really big people like Kanye West and other people like that, right? Or in the same room or vicinity.
Yeah, because John Monopoly was managing King Louis. He was and he was plugging me with shit. Like, he had me flying out to Big Sean's listening party. Got paid by Def Jam to do that. He plugged me up with some content website dude, and he was paying me like $2 a month just to do what I was doing at the time, which was creating content. So that's what they wanted. They wanted all that for websites and all that shit, behind the scenes shit, all that. All I had to do was throw a logo on it. Little shit like that he would kind of plug me with. But, you know, he was so spread wide and so thin because he had Dreezy he was working with.
Right.
And Dreezy, he had plugged me with her. Well, we had worked already with the King Louis video we had did with Dreezy. That was like her first real big joint that she did. And then she went and did her thing, but John Monopoly was responsible for her too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a major look.
Yeah.
So from there, from working with John Monopoly and working with King Louis, obviously, because that was a major part of that.
Yeah.
That whole era.
Yeah, I met John Monopoly with King Louis out South by Southwest 2013, I believe it was. And he was just out there fucking with Chance, plugging him in with a bunch of, King Louis out there with a bunch of shows like MTV stages and shit like that. And just being around there, we got familiar, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I remember going to Chicago with you to meet King Louis and doing that whole thing, and during that whole time. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, definitely an experience in itself.
Yeah.
Meeting Young Chop and Lil Herb and all those people.
Yeah.
Being around that whole setting.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is, I mean, when you talk about videographers in Minnesota, in this state at least,
yeah,
that you pretty much started that whole run.
Oh yeah, when I first started doing music videos, no one was doing music videos in Minnesota like that on a basis of just pushing them out, building content on a rapid basis like I was, and reaching out and networking with a bunch of artists and getting my name out there like that. Like in 2009, that was really, it was like me, and that was really it. And then it became a thing, you know, Rich Peterson and a few other people started doing it, but didn't stay consistent like I did, you know what I mean? And shit, just hard work just paid off in that sense, and I translated that to the industry work, the national work, the worldwide, global work I was doing. How can I keep this? How can I up my pace and keep going and building and spreading my reach? You know what I'm saying? That shit was an advantage for me to have, and that discipline to just stay down and to come up. You know what I'm saying?
Cause I mean, you got to really see the industry, I believe, from a standpoint that most people don't get to see it. Because one, you're not the rapper.
Yeah.
And two, you're pretty much the creator of the creation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're in control.
Yep.
So from your lens, how did you view what you were seeing?
Not to cut you off, back to the last question. You were saying a lot of motherfuckers, yeah, I started this shit. A lot of motherfuckers picked up cameras after me and started doing the shit, and people either took advantage of that opportunity for the worse or the better. You know what I'm saying? And then this shit gets watered down. Like a lot of people doing the shit that don't really got the passion for it. Like you got a lot of bad cops. You got a lot of people that do jobs but they don't love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually love what I do. This is a passion of mine. Like up until I'm old as fuck, I'll probably be shooting music videos just because I love music and creating visuals. And putting this shit together, and I'm known for doing that. Why not? Or teaching people how to do it. You know, I like to see people pick it up and really get the passion for it and go crazy. Like my man Dante Antonio, he did a lot of work with Boosie. He did a lot of work with who's the dude down in Atlanta, man, that was doing a lot for a little bit. I forget what his name was, but he did.
Well, shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Nigga made movies. He ended up using his camera, see me shooting a video, buying a camera, trying to figure it out, going to school for it, and then making a name for himself and providing for his family. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was homeless at one point. He was broke at one point. Just like me. You know what I'm saying? Broke, getting evicted type shit. And just kept going with it and followed his passion with it.
I think you got into it basically when the culture started.
Yeah.
Because at one point the cameraman was just the cameraman.
Oh, yeah.
We know this because we seen this. And from what we seen, it went from the cameraman being the cameraman to the cameraman being the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you know who the high defs are. You know who the AZAs are.
Yeah.
Being in that time period, being in that era, would you say that was the prime, you know what I'm saying, that was the golden era of this whole videographer thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say because I came up, when I started coming up doing videos, I was looking at shit at like on World Star, like Jordan Towers and shit. And, you know, I'd always see his name, but his quality of his work wasn't always like what I envisioned could be the dopest, you know what I'm saying? For someone that was carrying on that much load, you know what I'm saying? I was comparing him to Hype Williams and shit, but when camera work was really getting that exposure like that, yeah, we came up, me, AZ, D-Games, really tapped into that drill movement, and we really started, like, I would say we were responsible for a lot of, pretty much the whole visual content of Chicago during its biggest wave, you know, during its prime, you know what I'm saying? The new Chicago, rather. But, you know, it turned out to be real lucrative, and motherfuckers now globally we're known, you know what I'm saying? Like, people know AZ, he's done hella shit, people know me more so outside of Minnesota than they do here. Like, this shit's, I've done it before, you know what I'm saying? I've been here before, but I had to make a name for myself elsewhere. Being in Minnesota, a lot of people don't really give you that support that you will need to blossom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, the entertainment field, the entertainment world in Minnesota is, you can't hold a candle to LA or Chicago.
Yeah, it's not as many opportunities out here. Just the things that I even seen in LA in a week span, it would take damn near a lifetime for you to witness those things in Minnesota, and you would have to go out of your way extremely hard to make those things come true.
Yeah. Yep. And another thing, me, D-Games, and AZ, as opposed to other people I met in the industry that do camera work in Minnesota, locally, we had a network, like, we were communicating, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. Me, D-Games, and AZ, we would all tap in and just, you know, just communicate. Meet, we get up, you know what I'm saying? Chop it up type shit, just see what's to it with everybody, you know what I'm saying? And it's good to build with people like that because you can
keep an open network.
Yeah, keep an open network and
sure.
Shit. You never know when you might need, you know, something out of town or something, you know what I'm saying? Just having
and then, what was that? When was that moment?
We had a respect for each other, I think, too.
For sure.
You know
Gotta be there. When was that moment where you felt like you transitioned from, okay, I'm still doing the Chicago thing, but now I'm finna transition and turn it up just a whole nother notch and take my talents across the country, globally?
When I seen the violence and I seen the limits to what Chicago had at that point in time, going back to the bad business deals that Chief Keef was into, and just how poorly managed that system was, and then seeing King Louis go through his situation with his manager and then his label, you know, this shit was just like his manager stole all his money from him, like $300,000. That's his whole advance damn near. So it was bad with there. We couldn't really make more content, you know. It's stressful doing that. Then the violence aspect just being in Chicago, the crime rate, being on them blocks that I shot King Louis, Lil Bibby, you can't go there and shoot a music video no more. Like,
you couldn't really go there and shoot a video then.
Yeah, you couldn't really go there and shoot a video then because it was just so crazy. Like, we was literally there for like 30 minutes and had to dip, you know. Another time I shot East Side shit, the original
This ain't the
one.
30 minutes when 6ix9ine went to
Right.
wherever the fuck he went.
Nah,
This is a whole nother story.
We out on them blocks, motherfucking police coming by, getting in the video, flicking us off, all types of shit. Like, niggas got poles on them all throughout the shit. Like, niggas is on cue watching everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, watching A6 type shit. Like, it's real, it's a jungle out there, man. Like, it's really
It's
guerrilla.
survival all day long.
It's survival shit, you know, and risking my life to do that shit, I already knew. But I figured, you know, journalists do this all the time, going over. People will go to Iraq and shoot just to document what's going on.
Right.
We just got a Chirac. We got an Iraq here. You know what I'm saying? That I documented, and there was a musical aspect of it that we documented that captured what the current pulse was of that time or what they was going
And
through.
what a lot of people don't even witness is Chicago is such a complex place in itself. Like, when you got the police coming by and you trying to do something, you see somebody trying to do something for the community, trying to improve themselves.
Yeah.
You coming by and you telling them, you making these motherfuckers rich, you making these people famous. Don't make these motherfuckers famous. So you want these people to be content with being in this place. So it's really, you know what I'm saying, it's a whole plan. Y'all got a plan. You want these people. You need these people.
Yep. I mean, yeah, that was another aspect, shooting these videos. Niggas, it's really risky doing this shit. Like, you was down there for a week with me, or 2 weeks maybe, down at King Louis' crib, and I've been down there for maybe months or a month at a time, going down there shooting with Louis. We was building at that time, but when you was down there, we seen some shit. You know what I'm saying? Just within a short amount of time, it felt like you was there for maybe a month. You know what I'm saying? All the shit that we seen. Like, we'll go to exclusive 773 store and see people. Not gonna speak on the name, but we seen the person that was there, and the next minute we see the RIP shit on Instagram and Twitter and shit. Like, damn, we was literally right there. Then motherfuckers was shooting the East Side video. Back to that, we out on them blocks late at night, like on 79th and King and 79th and Kingston, and motherfuckers pull up on us. It's like 40 niggas outside, just deep as hell. And what's so crazy about it was they was throwing down the rakes, and you know King Louis a GD, and it was just a respect though, because he came from that area. You know, he grew up there, so they knew who King Louis was. Yeah.
Just the transition of it all. When you went out to LA,
Yo.
and you felt like, okay, I did the Chicago thing. Now I'm finna step into taking it on from.
Oh yeah.
From my.
I knew I had to do that. That was my exit strategy. You know what I'm saying?
What
and
made
not
you
only
do
my
it?
exit
How
strategy,
did it work?
my ascension strategy to elevate my whole brand and everything in my networking. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
Like, I knew Chicago was just one spot, but now I see other people reaching out to me like Shy Glizzy, like, I want you to shoot this awesome video. I want you to shoot 2 videos for me in LA, which we did. You know, Fat Trail just expanded, Soulja Boy. Then people in Miami would hit me up because they seen gunplay in the video, and now they want to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? So, and then there was a lot of local people that had money that was like, man, we want to spend that bag with you. How much it costs for a video? You know, at the time,
Going around the town, getting well connected, and real respect.
like
you know
I seen the global expansion of everything that Chicago drew, and I capitalized on that. You know what I'm saying? You can't get. I knew I couldn't get stuck under somebody. I never wanted to be stuck underneath something.
Right.
Because you're only limited to how far that something goes. You know what I mean?
Right.
How far I can go is limitless.
Right.
So, and then seeing that, it was just dope, man. Building networks with people. You know, like Young L, the dude who started Pink Dolphin. He was just a dope person to meet and became a client of mine, and we worked together. and you know, even people I met him through Soulja Boy.
Right.
You know, meeting King Chip through, you know, doing the work I do and just meeting people in LA. It with Chief Keef.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, you want to work with other people? Oh, you like Chip the Ripper? Just randomly come sparking a conversation and building through that. And then I move out to LA. Then I'm getting invited from John Monopoly to go to these events like the Chris Brown event I went to with it actually was Tiana Taylor's listening party or a release party or something. And you know, just being thrown out there in that environment and being trusted to be in there, it just felt like, you know, I'm built to do this shit. This is, you know, this is easy.
This is what it is.
This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be here. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's no longer a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just life now.
Yeah, it's just life now, and just it was surreal. You know, seeing that shit. But I knew how to move because I expected all this shit since the day I started this company.
Right.
Since I started shooting videos, I knew for a fact.
Definitely always said, not if, but when.
Yeah, it's not if, it's when, bro. Like, at all times with me, bro. So with that, then I'm thinking, okay, I need to have merchandise and shit. I need to have something for the people.
Right.
I need to have some clothes and shit. Like, so we came up with the High Life clothing company, which is highlifeglobal.com. You can go shop. There's a bunch of shit on there.
Buy it now, you know what I'm saying? Hoodies, tees, hats.
I got the hat, I got the t-shirt.
You know
right now, t-shirts on there. Speaking
more to come.
Yeah.
Soon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Still ranking up on that.
Yeah, and then I had people wearing the shit like Soulja Boy and Kingship and Fat Trail
and Rich the Kid.
Rich the Kid.
Don Benjamin.
Don Benjamin. See, I was building with people from home, from Minnesota that was out in LA doing shit. Like Don Benjamin was America's Next Top Model, nigga, but
on the Harley home with him always rapping shit. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Building, connecting. It ain't about
DJ Ski even. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Rocky.
Minnesota's all around the world, you know what I mean? It's just the people from Minnesota, they gotta branch out.
They gotta leave.
If they wanna make it happen, that's how you make it happen.
And I knew that following the footsteps of people before me that really made it in the industry, they left Minneapolis at a certain point in time. They was like, nigga, we outgrew this shit.
Like Bobby Raps. Like meeting Bobby Raps at Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah. And seeing where he went.
Right.
Allen Kingdom, seeing his videos with Ben Hughes. And
that's
shit,
fucking crazy, right?
Ben Hughes, shout out Ben Hughes, is another director I work with here in Minneapolis. That was dope coming up. That picked up a camera, and he knows, you know what I'm saying, the history of me and how I started, and he always gave me respect because I was an inspiration to him. And it's nothing to that, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody had to do something first.
Right.
You know, but it's always
everybody
good.
has inspiration.
Yeah,
you know
it's always good to name who that was so that other people can look and be like, damn, who is he talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, branching out to LA was dope. You know what I mean? It's just you get put in those. I almost my spirit outgrew LA. I would say at a certain point too. You know,
and that's when you transitioned yourself from the LA home.
Yeah.
To the Atlanta home.
To the Atlanta home. And it was just something about LA that wasn't really it wasn't really comfortable for me, you know what I'm saying? I had to get up out of there and go to Atlanta. I had to. Like, it was just circumstances that happened. You know, people around me was faulty, business people around me was faulty. People that you trust, man, people that you trust to handle business and manage you and certain situations, like, ended up all being people from Minnesota that did foul shit to me out there. You know what I mean? People that I came with out there that was just on some bullshit that, you know, that's why you got to keep your surroundings
but
on tape.
When you took that move to Atlanta, what happened there? Like, what was it for you? Like, not just what brought you there, but what was the experience, like, good or bad? You know what I'm saying? What all did it entail? Atlanta,
well, I'll say drugs was one of the, lean. I was on lean a lot. If you watch my music videos, I started rapping. Well, I started rapping back before the camera shit.
Right.
But
official.
Really rapping and putting my shit on World Star and shit like that with King Louis and having features with Soulja Boy and Rich the Kid and King Chip now, building with people around me still. I put out a project, Guys and Kings, and
that's still out right now.
Yeah, when I put that project out, yeah, it's still out. Guys and Kings. Well, actually, yeah, it's out on free on Dat Piff and what's the other joint?
Live mixtapes. My
mixtapes. It was on iTunes. I took it down. You have to put it back up, but it's for free right now. I do have more music that I'm releasing, and more features with King Louis and such like that. But the music is kind of what really brought me to Atlanta too, you know, because that's the embryo of music. That's where I was in the future a lot at that point in time. Outkast was always dope to me, and I always wanted to live in Atlanta at one point in my life because I knew how within reach every artist was.
So you always driven by the passion. If a nigga wanted a video shot in Africa and that nigga had the bag to go to Africa,
yeah.
This nigga is going to Africa.
Yeah.
So it was no surprise that when niggas started shooting multiple videos in motherfucking Atlanta, that he was gonna move to Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's wherever the action is.
Yeah. So yeah, it was popping at that point in time in the A, and I knew what it was. So I got in tune with Rich the Kid as soon as I landed out there. The Migos. I was at QC Studios a lot, building with a lot of artists like Hood Rich, Pablo Juan, and Pee Wee Longways, and Skipper the Flippers, and even Mojo, which was Gucci Mane's one of his homies, but they had a falling out or whatever. But just building with people there, going in the studios, working with people that do real beats and shit, like going to Icon Studios, Patchwork Studios, and meeting people there that are serious about their craft.
Right.
And are willing to work. It was just love, man. It was just like a great place to create. You know what I mean? I wouldn't live there again, but I would go there and create all the time. You know what I mean?
And they're not afraid to pay the cost to make their dreams happen. They understand that it costs.
Yeah.
If you want to get to the next level, it's gonna cost you.
Yep. And then there came a spiritual growth out of Atlanta just because of just seeing a lot of black people on business and just being around.
Right.
You're not a minority no more. You know what I'm saying? And people are more welcoming down there. It was just like Southern hospitality for real. Like that shit's for real. And then I had people down there with, like King Louis' homies. I was down there that would, you know, he would always come down there too and do work, get in movies. I think he was in a BET movie or some shit too. So. It was just a high-paced environment for entertainment, and I needed to be there. But I got videos that I shot down there with Skipper and Rich the Kid. You could check out on my YouTube. But yeah, it was. I would say that kind of transitioned. That was something that needed to happen, but I would never go back there and live. It's just a slower paced environment, you know. People down there, it's like go to the mail, go try to send some mail. It's gonna take you 20 minutes just to stay down there and sit in the line and deal with people. It's real slow,
right?
So it wasn't as fast.
Would you say living in Atlanta, that experience is what brought you to this high def that you are today?
Yeah, because I realized this is a point of saturation that we're in. The point where I was just one cameraman in Minnesota, it's not that no more. It's a lot of cameramen in Minnesota. It's a lot of cameramen in Atlanta. Very few directors, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like directors are a dinosaur. Like, motherfuckers that really sit down and will come up with a whole concept and just come up with the eye, have the eye and angle and lighting and just bring something to existence.
That's what you get with the Instagram era. Everybody believes that because you can buy a camera and you can pick it up and point it at something, that makes you a director or that makes you a cameraman. No, that just makes you a nigga that bought a camera.
Yeah.
A nigga who is a director or a real videographer, they know about angles, they know about millimeters, they know about lenses,
locations.
You know what I'm saying?
Scouting.
Lighting. You know what I'm saying?
If we need to pull actors together, if we need to pull props together,
cranes and different shit like that.
Yeah, equipment.
Like
certain things, drones. Certain things call for certain
you
techniques.
can't shoot videos on your cell phone and call yourself a director.
No, or maybe you could. It's not about how you use it. I've
Sure
seen
enough.
videos on iPhones that look crazy. Like, damn, how did they shoot this iPhone commercial on an iPhone?
I guess that is true. I guess it's more about the skill. You have to have the skill. You have to have the know-how.
That's what's a dying breed. You have a lot of people out here that grab the same stabilizer, the same shit, the same everything, but their work does not represent a real visual director. You know what I mean? Someone that really has the eye and the techniques for that shit. This is something that's in me. This is in my DNA. Like I said, my grandma taught me how to, well, it was just in me to draw, and my grandma accentuated that. She inspired me to go further. And then so on and so forth, Hype Williams and all them other people. And just friends and family that was like, damn, keep going, bro. That shit's dope. Just that shit made me want to do it. And that's what still keeps me going today. People that hit me up like, bro, you inspired me to pick up a camera, and man, that's dope what you did, man. You're dope at this, man. You're a god at this shit. You're the best at this shit, bro. I'm people say that, like, I don't, like, people say that shit, and it's like, man, it's surreal, it's humbling. It's like, wow, I've really become what I wanted, you know? I really became exactly what I wanted to be. I really manifested literally everything that I wanted and got.
And you're able to say that this industry, for good or bad, is a myth. Like what you you see is a mirage.
Yeah.
And I can say that just from what I've seen myself. It's a mirage. Like
being around Sean Kings.
You could, man, come on, dude.
Being around Sean Kings.
But that's a whole different.
Being at Sean Kings' house, everybody goes to Sean Kings' house when they get to LA, and it's just bullshit going on. Yeah. But we ain't gonna get into that though.
But aside from that, just people not being what they say they are. Yeah. But there's a couple people that are exactly who they are.
Hundreds, my nigga. Soulja
You might not like
100.
who some people are, but those people, that's genuinely them, and that should be realer than being fake and being he with you.
Yeah, my nigga Soulja Boy is 100. My nigga 1000, a real human being.
King Louis,
you know what I'm
that's
King
a real
Louis.
nigga.
Welcome this nigga to his crib. He don't gotta welcome new niggas around. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't gotta welcome me in his crib at that. Like, and want me to work and build and make money with him. He knew that I was getting paid off my videos. You know what I'm saying?
Chip, that's what
King Chip, another dude that was
genuine.
You know what I'm saying? Like 100 with me. Like, we still chop it up today. I was just out in LA last month, and we sat down. We're talking vegan food because I'm into veganism now. I'm into plant-based shit, and you know, I really got woke in Atlanta. I'll say that. I ran away from LA and got woke in Atlanta. I went to the black mecca of America, you know what I mean? And motherfuckers I really started just digging. I stopped shooting videos for a while. You know what I'm saying? I seen the facade in Atlanta, the saturation in Atlanta. I was like, man, all these videographers and shit, I'd rather just, man, I'm me. I did what I did. I'm solidified. I'm going to always be high def. I'm going to always be able to make money.
But what I seen was like a person who, like, if you take somebody away from ball, who play ball their whole life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they trying to do something else.
Yeah.
They straining. You know what I'm saying? They might be good at whatever they doing.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying, themselves, they're straining at it. And that's what I seen. I'm like, cuz, straining at this shit. He gotta have that camera. If he ain't got that camera, there's no action.
Yeah, but that time frame was needed for me to just grow mentally and get out of that rut I was in, and I was just fighting a brick wall, you know what I'm saying, with just shit going on wrong with what I seen perpetuated in the media and in music, you know what I'm saying, how that was affecting Chicago, and how I had a hand, how I was responsible as a documentary person to put visuals out giving people this message. Now me, I come from an era where I could listen to Eminem and not want to kill my mom and not want to pop pills and shit. But in the era we live in now, you see Chicago's very literal. These motherfuckers will really pick up a gun and shoot over some Twitter shit, have some Twitter beef, neighborhood shit, and think they're gonna get millions of dollars like Chief Keef did. Not knowing or knowingly they're gonna go to jail. They think they're gonna be a legend or something. At this point, it makes no sense, man.
There's no such thing as a nigga in the streets. I mean, I guess it is. That's street legends, but what the fuck? I mean, what are you really a legend of? You don't own the fucking street.
Right. You don't own the blocks that you barricading on.
So to me, the shit that you're a legend of, it's myth. You know what I'm saying? It's mythical.
Yeah, the streets is a myth. You know what I'm saying?
Like that shit's not real. Like that's
like
no
Jay-Z
real
said, y'all let George Zimmerman live. The streets is dead. Like it's over.
You know what I'm saying? Now there's some real street niggas. Don't get me wrong, with some real principles.
We'd rather kill each other than kill cops. You know what I'm saying? And really do some crazy and do some rebellious Nat Turner type shit. We would rather kill each other. And I'm knowing this from this music and the diet we eat. That's why I went to the veganism and started studying and just found Dr. Sebi. I became a real conspiracy theorist guy because living in LA, I seen exactly what's being made is all fake. All them reality shows is fake. It's scripted. It's literally written down, and they have to recite these lines and take multiple takes. Cut. Love and Hip Hop. I was on set with Soulja Boy, so me seeing this shit, you know, eye to eye,
that's just fake.
like super fake. All the jewelry fake. Everything fake. Yeah. And I helped him. Okay. And it was owned by Jimmy Iovine, a Jewish man, you know what I'm saying?
Now that's what I want to spend time on.
So actually, what I seen was motherfuckers exploiting a little kid.
Is that most videographers are white that shoot black people.
Oh, that is true.
Are promoted by black people.
Yeah.
It's a very odd system.
It is.
Like all these people, you never see them, so you never know who they are.
Yeah, they're not Hype Williams shooting these rap videos.
But they happen to be white people coming to black neighborhoods, shooting little black kids with guns and drugs.
Yeah.
And then it goes on social media.
Yeah, it's called appropriating the culture.
I mean, how is that though? Like, but if you black and you want to get those same jobs, they asking you, what have you done for me? Or what have you done?
I noticed that, and that's what drew me away from LA as well. It was a lot of motherfuckers that been old motherfuckers that are still shooting these videos. Like these people have been doing work with these video commissioners for years, for like 15 years, and it's hard to get your foot in the door. Like doing real big shit, transitioning from, you know, Chief Keef to Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
It's very difficult.
Right, because they want to own it. They want to own it, even though you're the person that's shooting it. Because these motherfuckers, they don't know what the culture wants. They don't even know how the culture moves.
They don't.
But they want to own you and say, you know what, we created that, so now we can celebrate that.
Yeah, so it's appropriating culture, and it's all facade feeding you bullshit that doesn't exist. This myth that, you know what I'm saying, like you can go shoot people, shoot each other, and become millionaires and become famous. Is literally setting motherfuckers up for a toxic lifestyle.
Yeah, because you become a felon.
Yeah, and it's suicide. It's suicidal, like, tendencies, my nigga. Like, when you don't care about yourself and you listening to you eating certain shit, your frequencies is thrown off, you listening to certain shit, you're in a whole different space. You're operating in your lower self.
Or when you see people that are pushed to be things that they're not, just so they can be successful in an industry that's not made for you to be successful in.
Yeah. And on top of this, I started listening to a lot of Brother Polite, a lot of Dr. Umar, a lot of motherfucking, what's dude's name? Louis Farrakhan, a lot of old shit he was on. Watching Malcolm X movies and shit, the Denzel Washington joint. I was on all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And just researching a lot. And that shit fed me more shit. That was like, yo,
getting knowledge of self.
Yeah, like I was in need of self-awareness and self-identification.
Real self-identification, not that Colin Kaepernick bullshit.
Yeah, like really seeing not only where I came from, but where all human beings came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did we get here with all this bullshit that's going on now? How did we get from the pyramids to this?
Right.
How did we get from ancient? Yeah, like, and what does it mean? You know, and what we have is procession, and that's where the loss of technology and education and spiritual awareness has been lost through time.
Let me ask you this, though. Since you have kind of an idea on what you want to see or what you feel like the world should see versus in entertainment at least, because that's where
Yeah.
you gauge it.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself transitioning into film and short films and more, you know what I'm saying, movie type things?
Yeah. I definitely want to make documentaries. The one documentary I'm working on is coding. What is it called?
I don't even know.
It was some coding.
Codeine crazy. Codeine something. It was a whole lot of codeine.
A whole lot of lean, because I was sipping lean.
This nigga had more bottles than niggas who own stores. When I came to his house, the nigga opened up every cabinet. He had pints in every cabinet. You think rappers sip a lot of lean? Bullshit.
Yeah.
This nigga sipped a lot of lean.
No, I was sipping like the rappers for real. Like every day I'm sipping. Like I was staying with Soulja Boy, so he had me on like he was sipping at least a 4 a day over there. You know what I'm saying? Being in LA, lean was like water. Literally, we out there sipping. And I love lean. Like I love the way it made me feel. I love the way it tastes. Shit, we was hooked out, and then I'm hitting the dirty docks and shit. So it's a whole lot of. But that, you know, that's a whole nother episode, you know what I'm saying?
Right. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, that's a whole nother movie. But a lot of movies I want to make, man. A lot of shit I want to get involved in. Documentaries, interviews,
Non-profits,
podcasts and shit we're doing like right now. This is the embryo of it. You're seeing exactly where I went and where I'm going now.
Started with the club. Well, it started with the video. Started with the music. Then it led to the videos and photography. Then it went to the clothing. Later it'll be the movies.
Yeah,
a whole lot of more shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, before I even started High Def, I was into the Law of Attraction. Like, that's one film I watched on Netflix, is the Laws of Attraction. The Secret was the movie, actually. And that shit opened my penile gland like a motherfucker. That shit had me eyes wide open, like, damn. So then that's when when we made the company, nigga. We even started High Life back then. I was just starting shit, nigga.
Hell yeah. High Life was back in 2009.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was in college starting shit.
That's just going to show people that if you stick with something, you gotta make it. In order to have something to be what you want it to be, you gotta stick with it. You can't have some shit for a year or 2 years or some. You know what I'm saying? It takes time, and we still at the bottom, still working. You know what I'm saying? To build it up.
Yeah, never ending process, man. But shit, you know,
we about to wrap this up because we ain't got much time left.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot more. We're gonna have a podcast cracking, which is live streams actually with the podcast cracking. That's gonna be more in depth, but
this was just kind of you know what I'm saying.
125,000 views later, 125,000 subscribers, over 91 million views later.
Right.
This is where we at. You know what I'm saying? This is where we going. We walking in a purpose. I'm creating a non-profit organization.
This is the definition of High Life, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Always working, always being moving, always progressing, you know what I'm saying? Always making it happen. And always doing it yourself, you know what I'm saying? Don't wait on nobody to do it for you. Do it yourself. This is High Frequency. I'm High Def. I mean, I'm Down Fresh. This is High Def. You know what I mean? And thanks for watching.
I mean, that's decent.
Except for the name flip, but you know what I'm saying? You'll fix that shit.
Yeah, let's do that now. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? We got probably 3 more minutes left. But
alright.
Yeah, so we're gonna see a lot of developments and walking into a newer purpose, delivering visuals with a message. You know, something that has something that will. I think as an artist is good, as visual artists is good, and artists in general it's good to document where we're at, but you also have to show the progression of where we should go as a people.
Right.
A lot of people get stuck in just seeing what we got going on now.
Right.
And that's cool. That is real. But now we got to shift and focus on where we can go later.
And if you follow me on Facebook or if you follow High Def on Instagram or Facebook, then you know this podcast could go anywhere and go any which direction.
Yeah.
So I just want y'all to keep watching, stay tuned, you know what I'm saying, get in tune. I'm Don Fresh, this is High Def, you know what I'm saying. I want to thank y'all for watching. You know what I'm saying, subscribe to the channel, you know what it is.
Yup, at Who Is High Def on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whoishighDef.org. We switching it to a nonprofit. We about to teach people how to work these tools, man, how to create provide a place for people to learn how to live and be, you know what I'm saying, and function and express themselves creatively, right? So who is highdef.org? Then we got highlife.com, highlifeglobal.com. You can shop all that gear, all that fly ass shit, nigga.
All that
Literally.
real ass shit. This
You know
is
what I'm
black
saying?
owned, black paid for. I know why, because I paid for this shit with this nigga. So it's definitely black owned.
For real, man. So, shit. You know.
So get you some, get your girl some, get your kids some.
Yeah. Yep, and we gone, man.